If you've been to Hawaii, you know that they grow beautiful plumerias. And believe it or not, here in the Central Valley of California, you can grow plumerias as well. Hi, my name is Jeff, and welcome to the Tropical Garden Guy channel. Today we're going to talk about Plumeria potting soil, because they really do like a specific type of potting soil. And I will show you the ingredients I use and the watering situation. But first, if you like this channel, click that like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Comments and questions, leave them in the comment section below. I do my very best to get back to you folks with your comments and questions. So let's take a look at these Plumeria trees, or bushes is however you want to call them, and we will discuss how I make the potting soil for my potted Plumerias. So let's start off with my front yard Plumerias that are in ground, and I did a video last year where I butchered the heck out of them. The darn things were just growing too tall. They were growing over the top of my roof, and so I had to prune them. And what do you do when you got a bunch of prunings? Now, ideally, you want to plant your Plumerias up against the south-facing wall and as close to the foundation as you can, because they get root rot a lot of times in the ground. There are a few things that you can do to minimize that root rot, such as using garden floss, plant them on a very well drained soil, because our cold winters tend to cause them to get root rot. And so a lot of times folks just rather eliminate that by growing them in pots, and you have to have a specialized potting soil that ideally is well draining, low organic matter, and plenty of nutrition, but not too much nutrition. But let's take a look at where I cut these. And a lot of folks are saying, Jeff, you're gonna damage that beautiful thing. But you can see right here, I cut them all the way down to about waist level, because I wanted flowers to be about eye level. And well, they're just starting to push out buds. Here we are in August, and that's a byproduct of me pruning these things so severely. But let's take a look at the ones that I have in the container in my backyard, and I have a lot. I mean, small bushes like this produces just about as many Plumerias as you could handle. So why buy Plumerias at the big box store for like 50, 60 bucks? Let's go into the backyard and we're going to take a look at some that I got in containers. So as I mentioned, growing Plumerias in ground in Northern California, anywhere where the soil is cool during the winter, we don't get freezing soil, but we do get soil temperatures that are in the 40s, and it's just so wet. It just doesn't dry out. So ideally, you want to pretty much grow Plumeria in a container, and you have to have a specialized potting soil, because a potting soil that has too much organic material and it could cause root rot in your Plumeria. So, but let's take a look. Here I have some in containers, and these guys were, believe it or not, cuttings from last year that I took off my other trees, and they're starting to flower already. But ideally, the container size should be about this big, probably 5 gallons for such large Plumerias. And if you want to keep them small, take a look here. We got one right here that's, I believe this is a white one. And white Plumerias, the celandines, those are the most hardiest. But you can see I've got them in like 1 gallon containers. But look how many Plumerias I have here growing. And they're all growing healthily, and these were never indoors. These guys, they never grew indoors. Now, I do overwinter any branches that I cut off indoors, and that's for another video. But let's take a quick look at, oh, my bananas and papayas are getting big. Let's take a quick look at, the amount of Plumerias that I got from cuttings last year. Take a look at all these guys. These are all Plumerias that I started, and they're doing well. But there's some tricks and tips that I've got to help you guys, you know, get these things going, because some people struggle, and I honestly do not have any problems growing Plumerias. But the soil is one of the keys. So as I mentioned, it's highly important to have well-draining potting soil that has low organic matter in it. And what I mean by that is you don't want a lot of mulch and bark and all that stuff in your potting mix, but you do want to start off with ideally about this size branch. And as you know, in the big box stores, these are like $40 when they're rooted. So you really want your rooting material to be wholesome, well-draining, and fertile, but not too fertile, because you don't want a lot of rapid growth on your Plumeria cuttings. So what I use for potting soil, number one thing, and I know it's organic material, but it's slow deteriorating, so you don't get nearly as much root rot, and that is peat moss. And if you guys don't like to use peat moss, you can use coco coir, but I like to use peat moss because it's slightly acidic. And what we do is we use peat moss, sand, and perlite is the main ingredients. But there's a few little tricks to it. So there's one scoop. You want to use them in basically, I like peat moss 2-to-1 sand. So there's 1 scoop, 2 scoops of peat moss, and 1 scoop of sand. And I like the play sand that you get at Home Depot. 1 scoop of sand. You could throw 2 scoops in there. This is not a strict recipe. Use what you got, but you want to use play sand that has been had all the salt removed. It's been flushed out from. Otherwise, it'll be hard for the Plumeria cuttings to root. And I know a lot of folks use this stuff, this moisture control Miracle Grow potting soil. It's really good, but not for rooting your Plumerias. Though I do put a little bit in because it has mycorrhiza in it and it has a little bit of fertilizer. So I'll put like maybe half of a scoop of that in there. Next thing, you gotta have pumice or perlite. And you want to use 1/3, it's basically 2/3, the ideal ingredients are 1/3 peat moss, 1/3 sand, a little bit of store-bought potting soil because it has a mycorrhiza in it, and a little bit of fertilizer, and then 1/3 perlite or peat moss, or excuse me, perlite or pumice. And the last thing in, I use this Osmocote, and the reason why I use it is it's slow release. Now, for those that like organic fertilizers, this is a good one. This one has mycorrhiza in it, and it also has a little sulfur, and it's slow release. And slow release is what you want for Plumerias because, well, if it's fast release, then it will cause root rot. So basically, depending on how much potting soil you're making, I like to use about 1 tablespoon of Osmocote per 5 gallons of potting soil. So there we go. Then, so you got your sand, you got your peat moss, you got your perlite, or you got your pumice in there. Now, this one's a little, it's about right. So I think I got two scoops of peat moss to 1 scoop of sand. Looks about right. If that doesn't work for you, you can put 2 scoops of sand in. That way you have 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. And you want to mix this stuff up really good. Now, I'm not going to waste you guys' time by showing you how to mix this up, and it has to be thoroughly mixed. As you can see right now, I got clumps in it, and that's not good. But you just want to mix it up. Probably takes about 5 or 10 minutes to mix it up until it's a smooth consistency. You want to add a little bit of water, but not a lot. I would say you just want it barely damp whenever you start your cuttings. My name is Jeff, If you like this channel, click the like and subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Comments and questions, leave them in the comments section below. I do my very best to get back to you folks with all your comments and questions. Have a wonderful day.